Good morning, dear students. I am Roshan Lal, PGT English of Kendriya Vidyalaya Masrak, and today we are going to begin with the second part of the chapter Lost Spring, written by Anish Jung. In the first part, we have discussed about a rag picker boy, Sahib Alam. Sahib Alam, the Lord of the universe, but he even himself did not know about his own destiny. Today we will proceed with the second part of the chapter, that is, I want to drive a car, and the main protagonist of the chapter is Mukesh, another boy. Mukesh, likewise, Sahib Alam is a poor boy and he resides in the city Firozabad. My dear children, you might be knowing very well about Firozabad. Firozabad is located in the Uttar Pradesh state of our country. It is the town Firozabad. It is in Uttar Pradesh and it is known for bangle making. And it is India's largest glass blowing industry. Thousands of people, especially children and ladies, work here and shape the different colored bangles in Firozabad. Well, my dear children, our main protagonist or the main character of the chapter, Mukesh, he does not want to do that work and he has some different ambition, he has some different goal. Mukesh says that he wants to be master of his own. Dear children, what does the phrase mean, to be own master? You can write it somewhere. To be own master means to be capable or to be a person whose decisions are not controlled by others is the one who is master of his own destiny or master of his own, you can say, life. So Mukesh wants to set up his own business and he wants to become a motor mechanic. You can see in the picture a boy. This is merely symbolic. A small boy is trying to repair or mend a burnt motor. Well, students, before we proceed in the second part, I would like to tell you something about Firozabad. You can see in the picture, as earlier I have told you, most of the families in Firozabad are, employed in making bangles, and many of them are small children and females. And here in the picture you can see small kids, girls and boys are busy in shaping the bangles of different color. So one day happens what? The writer come across Mukesh, and though Mukesh has a different dream, but his family is one of the families who is employed in bangle making industry. So one day writer Anish Jung meets Mukesh, and Mukesh voluntarily invites Anish Jung to go to his home, and he feels very proud by saying that his home has been rebuilt. So the writer says that she got a chance to visit the slum area where Mukesh was living. She narrates her experience that the lanes were stinking and choked with garbage, and there were hovels with crumbling walls, doors were wobbly, there were no windows, and they were crowded with families of humans and animals living all together at the same time. And their the writer meets a very frail, weak, a feeble lady. That woman actually is Bhabhi of Mukesh's brother's wife, and she is preparing evening meal for the family. Though she is very young, but because she uh, has got married, so she has begun to command respect as Bahu, and she is the daughter-in-law of the house. Uh, Here, writer found one thing that people, especially poor people of this area, believe in their destiny. Uh, Here, one more character comes, and the new character is grandmother of Mukesh, and she says that it is his karam, his destiny. Uh, it is that and that a God-given lineage cannot be broken. So here one question arises, my dear children: can a God-given lineage ever be broken? Mm, Let me simplify the question. The question says that the work that is done by our forefathers and our father, uh, we have to do the same work, or we cannot change that work. So you can give your opinion on the question. She says that as she is born in the caste of Bengal makers, so they cannot do anything else, and they have to carry on with this work only. Well, the story proceeds further, and the writer talks or come across a new character, and her new character is Savita. And Savita is a very young girl, and she is wearing a pink dress, and she is sitting beside an elderly woman, and she is also preparing bangles. She Her hands are moving like that of a perfect or a professional mechanic, and the writer says that she doesn't know if Savita knows the sanctity of the bangles, but she knows that it symbolizes an Indian woman's suhag, and this is the auspiciousness in marriage. Or she further says that it will dawn on her suddenly one day when her head is strapped with a red veil, means when she will get married, and then she will become a bride like the old woman beside her who became one many years ago. And the writer says that these people, though work from dusk to dawn, but still they do not have enough money, and एक वक्त शेर भर खाना भी नहीं मिलता. When she asked the old lady, she replied in that way. And here people here people are quite illiterate, and they do not have any knowledge of managing money or earning money and all. So the writer asks one question to these people, and she says, why don't you organize yourself into a cooperative society? And a very surprising answer she gets, which she may not have expected. One of them said, if they get organized, they will be hauled up by the police. They would be beaten and dragged in jail for doing something illegal. Here he wants to say that poor people are not trusted by police and politicians and the lawmakers and all, and means generally they are treated like that of thief. Moreover, they say that there is no leader in them, and there is nobody to help them, that their old parents are tired. And so dear children, after listening the poor Bengal makers of Firozabad, The writer well understood that there were two major problems of the poor Bengal makers of Firozabad. Reason one was that they were born in the uh, poor caste of Bengal makers, and the other most important thing was that they were being suppressed, or they were in the vicious circle of the Sahukars, the middlemen, the uh, the politicians, the policemen, and the bureaucrats. And together they had imposed the baggage on the poor children that they cannot put down. Here, the writer is very happy to see or to meet Mukesh, because Mukesh wants to do something different. There is a flash, a different flash, there is a spark of coming out, or there is a spark of, uh, you know, uh, to be a better person, or there is a hope of, or there is a optimism of becoming, or just coming out of this dirty world of Bengal making and the vicious circle of uh, the politicians, policemen, bureaucrats, and keepers of law. And the writer says that when Mukesh says that he wants to become a motor mechanic, she is very happy. And but one more question she wants to ask. She asks if he wants to become a pilot, or uh, he wants to fly a plane. But Mukesh, he knows his reality. He knows that he belongs to a poor caste. He doesn't have any big dream, because he knows that it needs a lot of hard work, a lots of money, a lots of support to be a big man, or to fly high in the sky. So in this way, the lesson comes to an end. Comes to an end, my dear children. And here I am giving you some questions. Please write them in your notebooks. Question 1 is here: what makes the city of Firozabad famous? It should be written in 30-40 words only. Question number 2: mention the hazards of working in the glass bangles industry. Question 3: how is Mukesh's attitude to his situation different from that of his family? And my dear children, I request you to write an article on child labor, or you can add many more things in it. Why labor should be eliminated, or what are the reasons of why poor children are forced to work in small or in hazardous industries like glass bangles making industry and others. So I will come with a new lesson in my next slide, next PPT or next video. Thank you very much for attending the lesson.